Welcome, I'm Lauren from Zestful Kitchen, and welcome to Everyday Gourmet, where I'm sharing realistic recipes for the avid home cook using fresh ingredients and global flavors. Booyah. Today we're making one of my favorite weeknight dinners. We're making meatball curry, which is inspired by Indian Kofta Curry, which essentially just means meatball curry. I've simplified the process by using a few pantry ingredients and a handful of fresh ingredients to make a really delicious weeknight dinner. So we're gonna start by making the curry paste. So we're gonna start by making a homemade curry paste. Very simple. We're gonna use a little bit of chopped onion. You're gonna need about a cup of diced onion. And that will be about half of a large onion or one small one. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can eyeball it just as long as it looks like a cup. We're gonna saute this down with some ground spices. Let's get this out of the way. Ooh. Clean that up later. Okay, so I'm just going to finely dice. A yellow or a white onion works either, but I would not use a red onion. And this doesn't have to be super perfect because it will, in the end, get pureed into your curry paste. Okay. Okay, so we will eventually saute this down in some coconut oil, but we're also going to be using some ground spices, which is what makes this way more weeknight friendly, way more realistic for the home cook. Traditionally, this uses what are they called? Whole spices. It's really hard to get those pureed down, no matter if you have a high-powered blender. You end up having a chunk of cloves or a cardamom pod. So I found through testing that ground spices do a wonderful job, and it's much quicker cooking. So I'm using of turmeric, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, and then I'm gonna do a half a teaspoon of cardamom. So very spice forward. And then you also need a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, so that is our ground spice situation. And then ginger. I am gonna remove some of the skin, but you don't have to do a really good job of it. Ginger's skin is so thin that if some of it gets in the dish, it's not a big deal. So I'm just gonna roughly, with the back of my knife, just scrape off that skin. You can also use the back of a spoon, or you can just slice it off if you want. And we're just gonna mince this. You can also, if you don't want to do all this knife work, you could use a mini food processor. Put in a quartered onion, put in a 2-inch knob of ginger and your garlic cloves and just pulse it until it's minced. So if you don't want to do all of this prep work, that could cut down a ton of time, especially if it's a weeknight. Okay. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's all going to get blended. That is about a tablespoon, probably a little bit more than we need, but a little too much ginger is never a problem. And then we're going to mince some garlic. So I'm going to do about, that's a huge clove. I'm going to do about 4 large cloves. Here we are again. Always peeling garlic. I'm just going to use my garlic press. It's going to make really easy work of mincing it. If you don't want to dirty another piece of equipment, you don't have to. Okay. And while it's definitely okay to go a little bit overboard on the ginger, I wouldn't do more than a tablespoon of the garlic. So we have 1 serrano. You can also use a jalapeno if you want it to be a little bit more mild, but I like to use a spicy serrano. And this is just going to add that traditional spice to your curry. If you still want the spice, but not too much, you can remove the ribs and seeds. And then we're also going to add in a large tomato. And this is going to make it a little bit saucier. It's going to make it a little thicker and just give the curry paste itself a little bit of body. I like to use one big, what are these called? I think Bushel Boy tomato, but there's another word for it. I like to use like a large beefsteak tomato. That's what I was thinking of. But you can use 2 Roma tomatoes. You're just going to want to use a tomato that is fairly meaty and not quite so juicy because you want that meatiness to give the curry some body. Okay. Tomatoes are prepped. Okay. We're going to chop up some cilantro. This is the best way to store cilantro. I have one in there that's like 4 weeks old. Still looks great. Okay. We're going to chop up, I think, an entire cup. We need 1 cup divided. So we're gonna chop up basically this whole bunch. You need 1 cup of cilantro chopped. We're gonna use half of it in the curry and then the other half, I think, gets mixed into the meatballs. So we're just gonna chop this up. Okay. We're gonna start cooking. We're going to toast our ground spices in some coconut oil. The coconut oil is really flavorful, goes with the rest of the dish. And then we're just gonna toast them for about 30 seconds or medium heat. You're gonna need about a tablespoon of coconut oil. Okay, I'm gonna put the spices in. Okay, they're starting to fry already, which is good. So a lot of these spices, fat is really important for unlocking the flavor. A lot of them are fat soluble, so this will just make it a lot more flavorful. And it toasts them. So anything that's toasted, like a nut that's toasted, is more flavorful than a raw nut. Ooh. Certainly potent. Maybe don't stand right over it. Okay, so now we're gonna add the onion. And we're gonna get that cooking with a little bit of salt. Obviously the salt will season it, but it will also start softening and pulling out the moisture from the onion. So it'll start kind of sweating it down a little bit. So the onion is nice and softened. Then I'm gonna add in our garlic, ginger, and serrano and cook those for about 2 minutes to get those softened and to cook out any of the raw flavor from the garlic. I am gonna get out my white vinegar, which is not very gourmet, but for a dish like this where there's a ton of bold, potent flavors and you just need a little bit of acid, I like to use white distilled vinegar. It's one of my favorite ingredients in the kitchen, actually, because it just is like really potent and really acidic. Okay, so our chopped tomatoes are gonna go in. You can already see that this big tomato that is nice and meaty is gonna add a ton of body to the curry paste, which is what we're looking for. Okay, I'm gonna add in half of the cilantro. Yeah, that's about half a cup. We're gonna go like this. All right, cook that for just a couple seconds and then we'll deglaze with the vinegar and we will start to blend this up. I'm going to add this mix to my blender and I'm gonna try to scrape out as much as I can because we're gonna use this saute pan to cook the meatballs. And I don't wanna have to clean the pan. So try to scrape as much of it out. Okay. So we're gonna blend this up. Okay. Oh, hi. So you could just make this and keep this on hand as a homemade curry paste. But we're gonna make the whole dish out of it. So I'm gonna reserve 3 tablespoons. This is gonna go into the meatballs. The rest of it's gonna be a sauce. So we're just gonna add this to a big bowl because this is what we'll mix the meatballs in. Put this back on the base and we're gonna put in a can of coconut milk. So traditionally this is made using desiccated coconut. Again, not as readily available here and a little bit harder to make a really creamy sauce out of. So we have great coconut milk here. So I'm using canned coconut milk. I'm using full fat. I really recommend it. You can use, if you want to focus more on protein, you can use yogurt. I wouldn't use Greek yogurt. I'd use regular whole milk yogurt, but that's a great option. Okay, now we're just gonna blend this up. And this will be the base of like the sauce. It'll be the sauce, not the base of the sauce. Okay, let's see. Let me taste it to see if it needs some salt. And then, definitely does need salt. So we'll just put a little bit of that in and then we can always season the finished dish. To this bowl that has 3 tablespoons of our curry paste, I'm gonna add a pound of ground chicken. You can also use beef or pork or lamb. Lamb is really traditional, as is beef. Pork is not so much, but that would also be delicious. You can also use a combo of ground meats. And then we're gonna do 2 cups of baby spinach. I'm gonna chop this up pretty finely. You don't want it to be super big chunks or else the meatballs won't stay together like you'd want. So you want it to be fairly minced. And again, similar with the curry ingredients, you could pulse this in a mini food processor or even in a blender before you blend up the curry sauce. You could really use the blender for all of the prep. And I wouldn't recommend using really any other green. Kale will be too tough. It won't soften. Any other crisper lettuces will just be too watery. So I really recommend using spinach. If you have frozen spinach, you could do that. Just make sure that you really wring out most of the moisture when it's thawed. Okay, so that's pretty minced. Looks pretty good. It looks the same as our cilantro. So we're gonna add a little bit of salt to the meatballs. I'm gonna do about a quarter teaspoon, quarter to a half teaspoon. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Okay, and then we're just gonna mix this all together, and I'm gonna portion it out into meatballs that are about 1.5 tablespoons in size, or a number 40 scoop. This is my favorite way to do it. Generally what I'll do is I'll just scoop the meatball mixture with the scoop right into the pan with oil. You don't really have to make it a perfect round ball. For a weeknight, I would just scoop them and toss them right into the pan. You're gonna have some craggy edges. They're not gonna be perfectly round, but frankly, those craggy edges will soak up the curry sauce really nicely and it'll be really delicious. Okay, so mix this together pretty well. It's gonna be a wet mixture because of that curry paste, so don't freak out about that. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a tablespoon of coconut oil to the pan, and then we're just gonna drop in our meatballs and cook them until they're brown, and then we'll add in our curry sauce, and then they'll cook through, and that's it, and we'll serve it over some rice. Oh yeah, it's ready. It's a little tight, so I might do two batches. If you have a bigger saute pan, you can do it all in one, but I don't want to move them around until they are done browning. So we'll do this in 2 batches. You definitely want to wait until they naturally release. They'll tell you when they're done browning on one side, kind of like a scallop. They don't have to cook all the way through because they'll cook through in the sauce. So this is just mostly about browning. So since they aren't cooked all the way through, I can just put it on this baking sheet that had raw chicken because it's all going to get cooked again. And then we should have enough fat in there that I think will be okay. I'll just add these guys in. All right, let them cook. We'll put our partially cooked meatballs back in. And then our curry sauce goes right in. Okay. And then this will thicken slightly as it simmers, but there's enough sauce in here that if you want to add some chopped spinach or some broccolini or green peas to add the veggie factor, you definitely could. And then we're gonna serve it over rice. That's my preferred way to serve it. But you could also serve it with some naan, which would be absolutely delicious. So the chicken curry meatballs have been simmering and the sauce got slightly thicker, but it's still gonna be pretty loose. So if you do wanna thicken it, you can always add a cornstarch slurry if you want like a really thick curry. But I kinda like that it's thin because it gets into all the nooks and crannies of the rice. And it also has gotten darker in color. You can see it's more of like a mustardy yellow. So I'm gonna get some rice down in our bowl. All right, so I'm gonna finish it with some fresh cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, this is probably not the recipe for you since there's a lot of it in here. You can substitute with 100% mint if you don't wanna do any cilantro. You can also do a combo. A combo is really delicious and quite traditional. Or you can use parsley. It's not gonna be nearly as fresh or flavorful. For the cilantro haters, it's a good option. Here we go. I'm gonna do a little bit of everything. Some of that meatball, you can tell it's really tender since it cooked in that sauce. Just add a little bit of cilantro on top. The perfect bite. This is my favorite kind of dinner. It's creamy and cozy, but it has so much flavor. It's like a big warm hug. It's a perfect dinner. It's a little bit more involved than most weeknight dinners, but there are a few ways you can prep ahead, make it a little bit easier on yourself. You can get this recipe and so many more at zestfulkitchen.com. I will link this recipe below in the caption. I'll meet you right back here next week for another everyday gourmet recipe. Why am I always hunched? So annoying.
I'm like over here. I don't know.
I don't know why you're doing that.